Hey guys, this is Lala Legacy and welcome back to MAMIYA. So, before we jump in, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button because that would mean the whole world to me, and afterwards, if you like this video, hit that like button too. Alright, so, let's get back into this. Damn, it's already dark out. Well, the sun does set early in the winter. Oh, this reminds me. Would you care to have dinner together? I happen to know a good place around here. Just so you know, I'm flat out broke. I'm not asking you to treat me, but I won't buy you anything either. You have enough for yourself, don't you? I answered her mean-spirited smile with a snort. We headed to an izakaya that had the feel of a cocktail bar. Several guests were sitting by the counter interacting with the bartender. Welcome, Mina. Who's the young man? Just an acquaintance of mine. Don't worry about him. I'll have the usual, by the way. How about you, Morichika? Huh? Meat, I guess. Just give him anything with meat in it. Understood. Despite how much attention her maid outfit drew out on the streets, no one's giving her a second glance in here. Hey there, Mina. You come here a lot? Oh, I do, yes. I quite enjoy the atmosphere. How about you two? We only started frequenting the place recently. It's nice to have something in common with you, Mina. The guest at the neighboring seat sounded a little agitated, but Mina answered them with a smile. Sorry, but I have to go take care of something. I'll be back in a bit. Sure. As Mina left, I leaned closer to the two guests sitting next to me. Hey, is she famous or something? Huh? You don't know Mina? She's the Cinderella maid. Cinda what? She's an internet idol who launched to fame because of her dancing videos. It all started when someone recorded and uploaded a video of her dancing at a maid cafe. Oh, I remember that. Still can't believe how a low-resolution video like that could actually hit 1 million views. Huh. Mina herself doesn't have any online presence, so the only way to meet her is to go to her cafe. It's probably to maintain the mystery surrounding her character. There aren't too many online idols with absolutely zero personal information floating around on the net these days. I'm back! I hear you upload videos on the internet, like dancing and stuff. Mina sprayed her drink all over the counter. Jesus! I was just surprised to hear the word internet leave your mouth. Anyway, the videos are there, but I'm not the one uploading them. Someone records my events in secret. The only one I made myself was a promotional video the cafe asked me to do. Huh. And is that fun? I suppose so, in a way, though a lot of comments tend to be pretty rude. Still, the video also drew tons of new people to the cafe. Why do you work as a maid anyway? What? I mean, there are plenty of other kinds of jobs out there. Is it the money? Do they pay you well? I don't know. Huh? I ask that question myself from time to time. You shitting me? I wanted to dress up in cute clothes. That's all. Yeah, I'm on my way. Sorry, but I gotta run. Oh, that's alright. I'll see you tomorrow then. Take care. You too. Leaving a few bills on the table, I stepped out of the cafe and tried to remember the easiest way to the house of the woman who had just called me. See you tomorrow, huh? Man. I tried to snort, but ended up heaving a sigh instead. The breath I exhaled turned white for a split second before melting into the black of the night. After splitting with Mina, I spent some time thinking. As I walked through the dark streets, that maid's resigned smile kept flashing into my mind. I felt like I'd seen that smile somewhere before. It reminded me of a familiar feeling deep within me. It was probably just a delusion on my part, born from my inflated ego and possessiveness. At least, I thought it was. No night was without end. As our moist skin touched, I felt almost like I'd melt alive. Okay, yeah, not making those noises. But no matter how much time passed, my thirst would never fade. I didn't understand why. I only thought I did. I'd always been alone, never able to connect with other people. I stepped out onto the veranda to light a cigarette. Thankfully, the night breeze wasn't as cold as I'd anticipated. I thought I hated winter, but I guess nights like this aren't too bad either. I closed my eyes and let the cigarette smoke billow around me. You shouldn't smoke. Hearing someone's voice from behind made me jump. Oh my god! Shh! The girl pressed her finger to her lips, stopping the scream in my throat. You shouldn't wake her. It took a long while for her to finally fall asleep. I took a step away from the girl and lit another cigarette, despite still feeling a little on edge. She had to be a manifestation of the stress that had been building in me from doing all sorts of things outside my comfort zone. I figured I'd just have to ignore her and she'd eventually disappear. Come now, I told you to stop doing that. I once again made an attempt to ignore the strangely translucent girl, but her voice rang out like it was seeping directly into my brain. You do it knowingly, I see. The girl closed her big round eyes in a reprimanding fashion. I exhaled a silent breath, neither acknowledging nor denying her statement. Aren't you freezing out here? Smoking is bad enough. You don't want to compound it with a cold. It's going to affect your lungs. When she said that, I nearly dropped my cig. How do you... I'm your nurse, remember? My lips were quivering at this point, but all she did was smile. I was gonna have to seriously reevaluate some things. God, this is pretty. Who are you? I'm MAMIYA. You're MAMIYA. The moon shone upon the two figures standing on the balcony. The silky hair of the girl calling herself MAMIYA gleamed in the cold evening light. The air spreading through my lungs was a mixture of cigarette smoke and inertia. This town had changed its appearance in the time between the last and the first trains. The slumbering souls made no sound. They merely drifted around in limbo, waiting for the sky to whiten. Hey, want to take a short walk? As I turned my head, MAMIYA was there, smiling in the darkness. We made our way down the street in the middle of the night. The world was at its strangest between 3 and 4 in the morning. The majority of people would be in their beds, unable to even perceive it. But to me, it was the most important hour of the day. MAMIYA, as cheery as ever, walked beside me with calm, deliberate steps. I slowed my pace to allow her short legs to catch up. My thoughts kept coming back to Natsume's death. I wondered if spending time with that maid had affected my brain. Death. A concept I was all too familiar with, one that had always hung around me. Everything about Natsume's passing was shrouded in mystery. His body was discovered after he'd gone missing for 3 days, and by the time of the funeral, it had already been cremated. All we did was place flowers on a closed coffin. There were plenty of rumors. Some thought it was an accident. Others speculated murder. The possibility of suicide came up as well, of course. I don't understand why he had to die. He wasn't the type to just... The maid's words grew louder in my head the more I thought about Natsume. A flash. Then, an explosion of sound. Was that... Lightning had struck somewhere. It's alright. Everything's alright, Haruki. Didn't light anything on fire? I wondered how it felt to be struck by lightning. What would be the last thing you saw before getting fried alive? I see. Sorry for not being of much help, Mina. It's okay, I do appreciate your assistance. The guys by the door started talking again. They were discussing their hobbies and having a good time with their friends. I inspected the fully decorated Christmas tree just to kill some time. It was covered in illumination. The sight of it made me feel nostalgic. It was warm to the touch. Clutching it harder made my fingers also reflect the light. My eyes met Mina's for a moment, but she simply shook her head in response. It would help if we could figure out where he was during the time he went missing. Yeah. The main street had been decked out in Christmas lights, making the town look even livelier than usual. When I spotted Mina blowing some warm air into her hands, my body moved on its own, and I gently placed my jacket on her shoulders. What gives? Just put this on. Thank you. I don't really need it though. I'm used to handing out flyers around this time of year. Besides, it kind of undermines the point of me wearing this cute outfit. Oh. Oof. Are you okay? Oh, I'm so sorry. He must have been watching the decorations. Come on, apologize to the nice lady. I'm sorry. It's all right. I understand being excited about Christmas. I am too. Mina gently squeezed the kid's hand and urged him to follow his family. They turned around a few times, bowing their heads until they finally disappeared into the crowd. In that moment, my eyes met with the kids. I averted my gaze almost unconsciously. I glanced to my side and saw Mina still waving them goodbye with a warm smile. Are you planning to spend Christmas with a special someone? I don't do that kind of stuff. I wonder how your partner feels about that. She understands. Well, I don't. Give me a break. It's easier to be alone. You're not controlled by anyone, and you're king of your own world. You should try it for a change. I didn't care that it wouldn't last. I was prepared for that. Rather than chewing on tasteless gum forever. Or try to slow down a movie until it was worse than watching paint dry. I'd rather go out quick, and preferably with a bang. I was used to being alone. It wasn't like people could just become someone else. Mina, however, simply smiled back at me in silence. That sounds a lot like something Natsume told me a while ago. Oh, really? Yeah, he said it didn't matter how much people loved each other, or how much time they had spent together. In the end, it still doesn't change the fact that they were alone. I get the feeling he meant it in a slightly different way, though. He always put some distance between himself and others. He preferred spectating things from afar. The town has really soaked up the Christmas spirit, hasn't it? Something about the maid suddenly changed. Almost like she was desperate to force memories of Natsume out of her mind. Yeah. I'm sure you'll just spend the holidays at some random girl's place, though. We'll see. I exhaled a long breath and admired the garlands hung on the doors of various shops as well as the red lamps glued to the streetlights. Christmas always ends up reminding me of home. Huh? Never mind, forget I said anything. Come on, talk to me! It's a pretty lame story. The kind that happens to everyone. Well then, maybe it'll help us discover something we have in common. We had a large Christmas tree in the living room. My brother and I would pull out this box. It was pretty much just collecting dust during the majority of the year, but when Christmas rolled around, we'd go get it and pick out which ornaments we'd use. Both the paper boxes for holding presents and the shiny ball ornaments were a lot lighter than they looked. We took extra care to make sure the tree looked beautiful. It was my job to put the star on top. I couldn't reach it by myself, so I had to stand on a chair. Then we waited for Dad to come home, and had a feast of a dinner with cakes for dessert. Pretty boring story, huh? Not at all. I really enjoyed it. If you say so. For a while, we kept walking without saying anything to each other. But then, Mina suddenly stopped before a corner and turned to face me. If you really have no plans to spend Christmas with anyone in particular, how about coming over to my cafe? We'll be holding our own Christmas party. It'll be tons of fun. All the maids are going to bake a cake. We even have a girl who actually attends a pastry school. Her cakes are just as good as the ones you could buy at shops. Huh. It may not end up being as memorable as your childhood. But do come by if you're in the mood, okay? I bet you're just trying to increase your sales. Perhaps. I'll think about it. Please do. With that, Mina clasped the hem of her skirt and gave me a deep curtsy. For a brief moment, the bustling cityscape around us ceased to exist. I felt like I'd just been transported into a different dimension altogether, like a Victorian castle or an old mansion. A Christmas party, huh? As I exhaled the cigarette smoke, the scent of vanilla hit my nostrils. I hurriedly tightened my facial muscles to stop my lips from curling into a faint smile. I didn't even remember the last time I spent Christmas with anyone. It didn't matter who my girlfriend was at the time. It was the one day of the year I had always kept free. It wasn't like I'd do anything special either. A bit of pachinko, some fast food, then I'd go home and crash. It'd just be another day in my life. I had never questioned it before. But now, Yo! Huh? I turned around, only to get Oh, it was a guy. Oops, sorry. Only to get immediately punched in the face. Son of a bitch! I threw a quick counter jab at the guy. I totally messed up his vibe. I didn't know what was going on. I thought it was gonna be the nurse. I threw a quick counter jab at the guy, but missed and lost my balance. What followed was a sharp pain in my back. Someone had just kicked me. What the? He wasn't alone. They grabbed me by the hood and pulled me into the alleyway where they proceeded to beat the living fuck out of me. You thought you could get away with stealing my woman, you little shit? How long were you planning to keep this up, eh? We're goddamn sick of you. The asphalt felt cold against my skin. The pain mounted and my body began to feel heavier. I looked into the distance with a vacant glare and saw a seemingly happy family walking along the street. Haruki! MAMIYA appeared near a garbage heap. You look like you're in pain. I have to treat your wounds. No need, I'll live. Why? Why didn't you call me? I didn't want anyone's help. The nurse call button exists to be pressed, you know. Even supposing I did that, what could you have done? I staggered to my feet and began walking away. Where are you going? Are you looking for her? That's a great idea. I'm sure she'll patch you up. Shut the hell up. Even after I covered Mamiya's mouth with my hand, I could still hear a muffled chuckle. A movie theater? I didn't realize they showed movies this late into the night. 1 adult ticket, please. You don't need to buy one for me. Children don't seem to be allowed inside anyway. There's almost no one in here. Likely because you're the only one who would actually watch movies at this hour. It's a small theater. It's almost always like this. Oh? This isn't your first time then? I come here whenever I can't sleep. I see. Now that you mention it, you used to read a lot, didn't you? Seriously. Who are you? I've told you, I'm MAMIYA. How come I'm the only one who could see you? You're the only one that pushed the nurse call button. Why do you know things about me? I'm one of the few who understands you. Yeah, right. I mean it. I also know about the island that your brother talked about. Why do you know that? The lights were still on. I stood up and approached MAMIYA. Haruki? I'm gonna ask again. Just who the hell are you? And why do you know so much about me? Calm down, Haruki. You even knew about the treasure island. Haruki, you're hurting me! That island... it doesn't exist. Before I knew it, the lights had already gone out and the movie began to play. Wait, no. This wasn't the thing I bought tickets for. Haruki. I had to stand up. I had to get back on my feet as soon as possible. My body, however, suddenly felt like it weighed 1,000,000 tons. I couldn't move. Huh? My neck refused to move. The film continued to play, and I was forced to watch it against my will. The face of a man I didn't recognize. Filth that reminded one of vermin crawling on the ground. It was all over the screen. Abuse. Tragedy upon tragedy. I was having trouble breathing. You poor, poor thing. A low voice, devoid of emotion. Yet even still I understood. The freezing chill of the snow sticking to my face felt heavy and painful beyond words. You will be unable to love anyone for the rest of your life. Haruki! Haruki! I couldn't breathe in the filth. It's all right. Everything will be all right. I'm right here with you. MAMIYA stroked my back with slow, gentle movements. I felt frustrated and miserable. The treasure island. A small patch of dirt on England's sea. Despite the name, it had very few actual treasures to offer. It was mostly just an uninhabited island with year-round snow due to its altitude. How do you feel, Haruki? Bro, better today. The air pressure has gotten higher. So, where are you taking me today? How about Barcelona? Back in the day, I spent more time at the hospital than at home. I barely even showed up at school, and had no friends to speak of either. My brother was pretty much the only person I'd interacted with. I would discuss everything with him. He was like a close friend. Even popsicle sticks could build a mountain, provided you had enough of them. And that might have been enough for me at that time. While I was stuck in a hospital room. My brother would tell me stories about foreign lands while pointing them out on a guidebook map. He had studied overseas multiple times, but even he couldn't have visited every single location that came up. Yet, mysteriously enough, his stories made me feel like I could almost smell the places he talked about. What are we gonna do today? Let's see. Oh, that's odd. I could have sworn that I had that book with me. Are we taking a break? I guess it was bound to happen at one point. No, we're doing it as usual. Today, I'll tell you about the Treasure Island. The Treasure Island? But I've already read that novel. Not so fast. The Treasure Island I'll tell you about is one you've never ever... isn't one you've ever heard of. It's a small island to the north of Great Britain, a quiet, serene little place. The sun barely ever shines there, you know. It's a world shrouded in silver, with snow as far as the eye can see. There was a lone house standing there, though. The windows are lit up, but if you go in to investigate, you'll find the house completely empty. Here's the thing, though. There's warm bread and even some soup on the table, almost like someone's been anticipating your arrival. Despite constant pauses and interruptions, my brother gradually revealed the story of the so-called Treasure Island. I was completely enraptured by his tale, and even asked a bunch of questions of my own. My brother would close his eyes and heave a long sigh, then dutifully answered each and every one of them. For me, that was enough. That Treasure Island had become the only place where I could escape this white ceiling and the pain in my lungs. The island my brother did his best to tell me about had become my personal sanctuary. Chica! Mori Chica! Were you listening? Huh? No. Are you feeling alright? You'll never love anyone. Sorry, I gotta run a quick errand. Is this about some woman again? What if it is? I see. In that case, I shouldn't be taking up any more of your time. Right. See you later. Take care. You'll never love anyone. Shut the hell up! Haruki? Oh, sorry. You startled me. I'll lower the volume. Nah, don't worry about me. I just dozed off. You'll never love anyone. Man. Can't believe I'm letting a few stupid words get to me. I crunched the cigarette pack in my hand. I hung my head to try and hide my face. I found a place that might help us learn something new about Natsume. It's a used bookstore he used to frequent. Come on, Morichika, let's go check it out and... Yeah, I'll pass today. I see. That's a shame. Morichika, today should be a good... No good. I gotta drop by this chick's place. Okay. Your face tells me you want to say something. Could it be that you're not feeling up for that Christmas party? What makes you say that? I mean, you've been avoiding me ever since that day. Well, about that. You'll never love anyone. I'm sorry if I did anything to upset you, but at least tell me the reason. It was the same with Natsume. He never told me anything. This has nothing to do with that. Then, tell me! Haruki, you will never, I'll never love anyone. There's no special meaning behind Natsume's death. None at all. And there's nothing off about it. Huh? Why are you saying this all of a sudden? Stop pretending you don't know. You're just scared to accept reality. That's not true. Natsume really did. He's dead. And he's not coming back. You're the only one in the entire world who actually thinks he might still be alive. Stop it! You're the only one who's trying to attribute some meaning to his death. Why are you saying all of this? Well, it was a pretty good way to kill some time, I'll give you that. A way to kill time? It's the only reason I did all this. But I got bored, so I figured I might as well let you know. You see, sure, I enjoyed playing the detective for a while, but I've had enough. The maid's expression changed. You've been lying to me all this time. I should have known. She then curtly turned around and walked off. Well, I slowly pulled my arm back after realizing I had unconsciously reached toward her. I ended up all alone, with the cold winter air as my only companion. But wasn't that what I had wanted? I brought an end to it with my own 2 hands, and yet I simply stood there, unable to move an inch. I hadn't seen the maid since that day. Her phone number, which was the only thing connecting us, no longer worked. The 5th exit of Akihabara Station. I found myself waiting there for a whole day. Oh, now that I think about it, I never even learned her name. Hey, Morichika, how are you doing? Hey, Saito, yeah, I'm fine. But man, I haven't seen you in a while. The guys were even starting to suspect you might have kicked the bucket. That's so. Damn, looks like Lady Luck's on your side today, Morichika. Amazing, you're doing crazy well. Hey, Saito, I don't think I'm going to need all these. Feel free to take them. Huh, you sure? I guess I'll take you up on that offer then. You okay, Morichika? Damn, I'm out of cigs. You gotta be kidding me. Why do I feel so pissed? It's easier to be alone. You're not controlled by anyone, and you're the king of your own world. You should try it for a change. My very own words. It had been my dream to live a free life where I wasn't chained down by anything. And that dream came true. I was living that very life right now. Whatever. I never even liked that maid to begin with. Good riddance, I say. No one likes a loud, impulsive brat. Her clear, innocent eyes, and the way she tried to come to terms with Natsume's death. My phone suddenly rang. Suppressing my excitement, I quickly pushed the answer button. Come on, I thought... Hello, Haruki? Oh, Maki. Well, what's that tone supposed to mean? I was worried you might have died. Well, I'm really thankful for your concern. Sounds like it was a good idea I called. You free tonight? I'll come over. After arriving at the apartment I'd nearly forgotten the way to, I pulled Maki into my arms and kissed her before she even had a chance to greet me. Haruki, at least give me some time to... Shut up. I even made dinner, it'll get cold. I don't care. I can't believe Natsume had such trashy friends. I think it's that building. Morichika! Regret it all you want. Many nights had come and gone since then. It's so cold. You okay, Haruki? Yeah. I drowned myself in her body to seek shelter from the cold, to fill the void in my heart. But regardless of how many women I had bedded, I never found any warmth in their embrace. Oh, the movie had already ended. The other people around me began to file out of the room as the lights came back on. I didn't even remember what kind of movie I had watched. It took all I had to keep it together, as loneliness crashed down on me like a hydraulic press. My eyes hurt from the neon lights of the nighttime streets. Morichika. Me. There was no one behind me. Up until now, I had viewed people as expendable commodities. I thought you could change friends and women like clothes. Even if you lost one, another could easily take their place. The cool December air bit into my skin with the chilliness of cold rejection. I had met countless people, yet made not a single genuine connection. In that sense, it was funny how our society actually functioned. You could only become a part of the group by suppressing your own individuality. Like the dull pieces of concrete that made up this town. I knew that. I had known all along. The smell of the hospital, the clean, sterile air. It felt like it had the power to erase everything you had ever known. I thought I was the one holding the reins. I thought I could easily have everything back if I so much as wished for it. I should have stopped her. So why didn't I? All I had to do was take a single step. Why? Was I scared? I looked up and saw Mamiya standing before me. Haruki! Her skirt danced gently in the breeze like a flower. Within the jet-black darkness of the night, I found myself thoroughly captivated by her. I exhaled a hot, white breath. The very air around Mamiya gave off a faint glimmer, like something from another dimension. It had begun to snow. Yet, Mamiya kept her gaze focused on me. I had experienced nights like this countless times before, enveloped by a cradle of loneliness. I felt like my very existence was being rejected. Why do you keep showing up before me? Because I'm Mamiya. You make me sick. Go away. I can't. I'm your friend, remember? My friend? Yes. You're pretty goddamn persistent for a mere hallucination. That's not true. Yeah, right. Look at me. I can't see a thing. Look! What's the point of looking at a hallucination? Then at the very least, I'd like you to push the nurse call button. Please, Haruki. You need to seek help in times of hardship. Shut up. You're not alone. That single, careless utterance of hers brought my blood to a boil. No one was ever there for me, okay? No one's gonna come to help me, no one's gonna come to help even if I scream. So, what's the goddamn point? Everyone's got their hands full with their own lives. They've got no time to babysit others. And most of all, I just don't want to experience the emptiness of asking my own echo for help. You're the only one for me. Huh. Is that because you're a delusion I created? Yes. I'm Mamiya, a being that came into existence for your sake alone. Here. Can you see me? Mamiya gently touched my cheeks. I couldn't really tell if her hands were warm or not because of the cold. I can't. Feel my touch. Her arms wrapped around my neck. Her gaze pierced through me. The snow kept piling up around us. The boundary between Mamiya and myself began to grow hazier and hazier. Almost out of reflex, I ended up hugging her. How about now? Yeah, I could feel you just fine. I poured more strength into my embrace. not wanting to let go of her to protect myself from the cold. Haruki! Mamiya. Yes. Don't leave me alone. I won't. I'll stay with you forever. So tell me, what the hell should I do? We'll figure it out together. Together. Just you and me. Just you and I. I'm sure it'll all go well. It's all right. Your pain has reached me, along with your cries for help. Thank you for pressing the nurse call button. Day or night, I'll always come for you. Always. Mamiya continued pressing her body against mine without saying another word. I wondered, when all my wants and wishes had dried up, when I no longer felt the desire for anything in this town, what would become of me then? Haruki? Yeah? You were thinking about another girl, weren't you? Come on, you know you're the only one for me. You don't need to lie. I could tell when you touched my necklace. You looked kinda distant. Why don't you go to her? Huh? There's no way You can. Go make up with her. Come on, don't look at me like that. I even went out of my way to cook for you. I wasn't expecting anything special, you know. I only called you because I felt like it. But there's no point to this if you keep making that face. Just bring a present, apologize like a man, and the rest will sort itself out. In your case, anyway. It's not like that. It's not like that. It's, Wait a sec. You're telling me you have no idea how to make up with a friend after a fight? I felt dumbfounded for a moment. I didn't know how to make up with a friend? For some reason, that struck something very deep within me. Up until now, if I got into a fight with someone, I just cut them off. There's 130 million people in this country. Losing one person didn't seem like a big deal. I figured I'd just have to find someone new and that'd be that. I finally came to the realization that I had no idea how to repair a bridge that had already been burned. How to make up. There. Search. Making up with your girlfriend, making up with your boyfriend. Come on, I know way more about this stuff than these keyboard warriors combined. A present is the perfect excuse to start a serious conversation. Then it hit me. It was almost Christmas. We'll be holding our own Christmas party. Do come by if you're in the mood, okay? A quick look couldn't hurt, I guess. So I came all the way here. But now that the issue was actually at hand, I realized I had no idea what to give to her. I kept lingering in that painfully Christmassy store. I ran my gaze across the "Great for Presents" section, but nothing really caught my eye. Elegant necklaces and rings, the kind most women would die for, glimmered alluringly behind the showcase window. One of them was actually pretty similar to something I'd once gotten a girl. But man, what would Mina be happy with? That was the million-dollar question right there. And the answer was shrouded in a thick fog. After giving the various pieces of jewelry another cursory look, I ended up walking out of the store. I came upon a Christmas merch store with its own lit-up Christmas tree. Let's see. Some hideous-looking wooden carvings of Santa. Large garlands to decorate your walls or doors with. I doubted any of these would make her happy. They had no practical use, and besides, they might not even fit her taste. Also, she'd just end up throwing them out once Christmas was over. The next time she'd think of them would be in a goddamn year. Yeah, I'm done. Heaving a brief sigh, I started walking away when... Oh! A snow globe caught my eye. It had a house standing in the middle of a snowy field. But that is all the time that I have for this episode, guys. So, if you liked it, hit that like button down below and don't forget to subscribe. I love you guys so much and I will see you next time. Bye!